this is recorded, and only this portion is going to be recorded. All right. And so of course it deals with past life regression. And this is one step of many. But this particular step, we can say, is also history from an elder in a way that other people could learn from as well. So if you end up saying something that should not be recorded, I will take it out the recording. Okay. So you could be free to say whatever you like, and I'll just take out whatever needs to happen at that time. All right. Let's see here. So for those who would end up seeing this later, what the elder is here for is the beginning of his past life regression sessions. And when it comes to past life regression, which I learned from Dr. Delbert Blair many years ago. So with Dr. Blair, there was a very specific way that he did it, right? And it dealt with a lot of, one person had to have a routine, and he had to build up to the point where we could actually do the session. And so we had to trust that the person would do everything that's needed. Most people did not. So most people didn't end up having a session. But those who did, the sessions were profound. And sometimes people even speak different languages. Sometimes it would bring up some trauma because some people had some violent deaths. Okay. So over that period of time, what ended up happening, of course, everybody knows I'm into tech big time. And so I started to introduce modalities into the methodology, okay, that ended up allowing us to go deeper. And one of the upgrades we did was, instead of just accepting everyone, we, especially those in the middle range of life, we primarily started to look at those who are coming into life. So they're coming through the entryway. So we talk about children, and focus on those other people who are or soon to be exiting out of life, right? Both of those are near doorways where it's seen from us doing it for quite some time that most of the profound results came from those two groups. So after he passed, still did it for a little while, upgraded the technology that we use, but because it's just so much work to do, that I do a lot. So I'm in engineering school right now. It's a lot, right? And so it's only so much time in the day to do what we really need to do. So anyhow, so we're at a time now where we have an elder, David, of course, who is the ideal candidate for this. And I said, know what? Let's get this started, and you all could get a glimpse into one of many steps. The other steps will not be recorded. They will not be public whatsoever. But this particular step, you can get a glimpse into what is asked and so forth. Now, some would say, in listening to this, that past life regression is hogwash, right? It's baloney. But then I would say to those types of people that, first off, skepticism is good. But I would say, are you religious or are you spiritual at all? And if they answer yes to that, then most religious and spiritual systems have some form of afterlife, okay? Whether that afterlife is a heavenly place, whether it's limbo, where you just kind of like in darkness or just wandering around, whether it is some type of darkness kind of place, a hellish kind of place, right? Or something else entirely. So they may not agree on what is after this, but most religions and spiritual systems here in the realm say there is something afterward. Okay. So now, and that's something afterward, you spend more time there, and it's supposedly more real than we are here. So, and many of those systems also say that you come back here or in all everything else, right? So in that, I would say for those who are skeptic to look a little deeper into what's going on. You'll be surprised what you will learn. So in this, David, I'm going to kind of guide you through this. Okay. If you end up being a little long-winded, I'll just, bring you back a little bit. Okay. And so first for this conversation here, Of course, you've been coming around for quite a few years, and so I appreciate you trusting me with this process. Right. So, how old are you?
76.
So 76 years young, right? As they say. Okay. So I would like you to. What year were you born?
1948.
1948. I don't know why I thought you were born in the 1930s for some reason. Okay. Trying to make you older than you are, right? 1930 something, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what if right now, what is the oldest memory that you can remember? Go back as far as you can. It doesn't have to be anything profound. We're not talking about anything. Again, just something, simple memory that you can remember.
Remember as a child, I was in a toddler. I was crawling under a kitchen table. That's very extremely young at age of it. We were crawling on a kitchen table. On my parents were in.
Well, where was that at?
That was Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, so you actually live near, but where you grew up at?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. So learn something new about you, David. Yeah.
The house I was born into was actually, block away from the house my parents bought. But I grew up from baby to high school.
Okay.
I think to college. So that memory, we felt hard for.
Okay, so of course, 2-parent household, right? The entire time.
Yeah. My parents, and back then they had got played with my mother's sister. They were young, but it's two adults, in other words, like my uncle and the aunt, and then my father and my mother. They had got it raised together. It was. And so, I was born, my father saw a house even available. Bought the house.
Okay. Do you remember your grandparents?
Well, even my grandmother and my step grandfather.
Okay. And how would you describe them?
How would I describe it? My
grandparents.
Oh.
On either side.
Oh. We didn't get to know that well. That my grandmother, my mother's side, her mother, she was very kindly on her. I thought her. Very patient. It's a patient from south, from things that representative, Southern.
Okay.
And my step grandfather, who she had married after my her husband had passed away. Mother's father after that. They were on they call it shared farm. That's the name. Tenant farmers, whatever.
Sharecroppers?
Sharecrop, yeah.
Okay.
And they farm, they rented land, farm, and they farmed it and split it with the
Oh, okay.
and
Now, is this what they're telling you, or is this what you actually remember yourself?
I remember. I remember we visited down south, multiple every year. My the story, this way the story is her brother and my step grandfather, they were sharecropping in Tennessee, so they had not left the farm yet. So as they got older, and they wanted to move out of the rest of the family, basically, they simply split up. I mean, their children and moved to Peoria, Illinois, close. So their children wanted them to bring them from Ripper, Tennessee, up to Peoria, Illinois, and they put them in they got a public housing from our grandfather down there. And I remember when we went down to a wheelbarrow on Rock Party, sitting on the mules with the child and running through the farm, the animals and stuff like that. That was new to me. You had to tell me where the hamburger comes from or where the milk comes from. I'd say the refrigerator. Say, well, what is cheese? What is? Got the refrigerator after. I think I knew.
Okay.
So that experience, that experience showed me that our roots came from another place. That's the same environment that historic Albert Haley that came out of the same house. I mean, same family. Albert Haley was related to us a couple of times.
Oh, okay. So let's move a little bit further ahead, right? We're going to revisit some of these areas. But so tell me about your high school years. I'm mainly interested in what you observed in the world around you.
High school?
During your high school years kind of thing. Okay, so you're talking about, let's say, from 15 to about 20. In that time range, what do you recall happening in the world around you at that time?
That's where I first started noticing the differences in treatment regarding some of my peers from grade school. We went from 8th grade. After 8th grade, we went to high school. High school for us was 9th to 12th. And some of the children that I went to grade school with, we were very close, as children to be. We did certain kind of activities together and on that young people business. Anyway, when we translated, we went to high school. And that's a high school environment. I saw some of the same kids I was grade school with. And they acted differently.
Where did you go to high school at?
I went to Peoria High School.
Okay.
Peoria.
Now, what about, because some of the questions I'm going to ask are for our private session, okay? Okay, you know what? Let's go a little bit past that. So let's go into around 20 and above, okay? In the world around us, you grew up during some interesting times, right? You grew up through the 60s, 70s, 80s. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, hippie movements, so the military going to that college, university, shooting the college children for protesting.
Yeah.
All of that. You remember all of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back, because those are some monumental times of history, and then we're going to end up circling back to personal things again here. So tell me the first memories that you recall of any of that. Yeah, any of it.
Well,
that stuck out to you, of course.
Well, I remember we started top several high school. After high school, you know, it's I never said that. And me and my peers start I'm back to school going to college. You know, it happened in the 60s. It started in student protests, and the other way they're active, they're vocally active about what they thought was going on in the world and wrong, basically. And it's in a certain mindset where we were children. We didn't know. Little we had certain kind of a simplistic view of what life should look like or should be like. So some of us in certain categories started to protest and or ways, and he showed up in the college situation. And the reason the way he showed up in the college situation is that all of a sudden, back in the day, biggest thing we did was we had no liquor. We had to have a little beer, beer like that, a little wine. Having said that, after a lot of protests and seeing these student interactions, all of a sudden the college campuses that we would venture into, all of a sudden we got flooded with a lot of hot drugs.
Okay, so at first, what you're saying here, just for clarity's sake, when you're going to college, for the most part, it was pretty drug free, you could say. It was drug free, this period. And then all of a sudden, once the protests and things like that start to happen, and people start to get a little rowdy, all of a sudden, all types of drugs start to just appear.
Yeah, we did the cocaine and what else in there? Hippie movement started basically, and that literally quelled a lot of that stuff.
Because people they drugged out, you know what I'm saying? Right. Now, let me ask you this: going back in your memory, during that time, of course, it wasn't like pretty much everything is clean, right? And then all of a sudden, all these drugs stuff hit. What did you and your peers think about that at the time? Of course, you're young, so I'm not trying to get some deep philosophical, sermon here. You know what I'm saying? But what did you think at the time?
Well, at the time, with this big thing, we just wines and beer like that. We had no money to buy no food stuff like that. All of a sudden, showing up on campus, selling weed, and acid, and like, okay. And then the so-called hippie culture was introduced. So I saw the division. I saw the split where the so-called mindful students or students that would be protesting or whatever. I saw some then influenced to quell their voice. Well, they're acting out kind of thing. But I could see that then, because they get high, all of a sudden, protest wouldn't be like that no more. Be went to something else. And then you had the starting at a Vietnam thing with the war, and they wanted to quell that because students voice being heard.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I saw that clearly. They wanted to institute some structures in that group setting or in that environment where some voices and quality services.
Mm-hmm.
That was plainly clear. It's plainly clear. You know, same thing when I needed there. There's different a lot of things we couldn't afford to do or want to do, and we just started showing up with camps.
Mm-hmm.
Having to say that, at the same time, hippie movement, that Grant movement, the different variances of groups being on campus with different, not different agendas, but different ways to so-called protest. And it kind of got quelled down.
Wait, pause there. Okay, so you're starting to see that. What did you think of? Let's just say since you are a so-called black man, right? Who did you end up coming across first? Was it MLK Jr. or was it Malcolm X or was it someone else? And what was your opinion of that at that time?
Who was very much
Fred Hampton. You know, there's so many people.
Yeah, well, I knew Mark Clark.
Okay.
I knew Mark Clark a little bit. I knew his family in your league. Me and Mark talked with, kid Duke. Hang up. I remember him before he joined the Black Panthers. And then after he joined the Black Panthers, started going to Chicago and hang out with Fred Hampton.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they know Panthers. They'd be very quiet. Mark was very quiet. He's very quiet. Yeah. The leaders, studios. Never said that when he got killed, we got murdered literally back at home because I knew his personality. I knew how it was. I knew that circumstance to explain to it. He was just there just to be a chaperone.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like it was a big shootout. He's so-called security guard, but he wouldn't know. They weren't the kind of people who would just shake, shooting somebody or even do nothing like that. Like, I'll do fisticuffs, fight you like that. But, to make a long story short, that period I knew him, and so that was personal. Mm-hmm. So when that showed up, so okay, let's see. Mm-hmm. Was Martin Luther King? Martin King was participated in one of his marches in Memphis.
You was actually there with him?
I was in that march. Yeah,
march. He was actually there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was I remember the child. I went down there in the see people. They would take children, these big buildings, buses down to Memphis. And I remember finding a sign. And I remember the sign explicitly. I found it. And it was a picture of a soldier, and the way he had his rifle and bayonet angled, so the woman's head was close to it. Mm-hmm. And I saw that picture, and I saw it, and I grabbed it, and our tutor, our person, chaperone, I said, look what I found. I was a teenager. Look what I found. And they said, oh, well, they want to see at the front office that thing. So then they took me up to, this, I guess their command quarters, mm-hmm. and ushered me in there with this picture. I remember the odd restaurant. told me, come on in. And this young man had found a sign. And I was up there with all these big shots. Yeah, the man said 4 or 5 of them. And I said, wow, this was real interesting. I felt powerful because whatever I had picked up, they wanted it. They wanted to use that picture. They wanted to have it. We told my parents, I did something good. I found this. Whatever. So anyway, this we had down where that.
But pause there. How did your parents feel about you participating in MLK Junior March?
Oh, that march? Well, my mother was fine with it. Was fine with that. The NAACP was a strong group in Peoria, Illinois. So, and we were chaperoned. So nothing ever happened to us like that. So wasn't no fear like that.
Okay.
So I deviated a little bit to that. Before that, before the time period with Marvel, but 9 o'clock.
Okay. So
I was in college.
college. Okay. So let's go a little bit now. Around what year are we talking about here? Year range. Mid-70s.
Oh yeah. No. What? No, 70s. You're talking like I'm on 48, so something like it. Early 60s.
Early 60s. Okay.
Yeah, early 60s. But it had to be 10. In 58, I was 10. So not 60. Yeah, 62, 61, 62. I remember when John F. Kennedy, I was in high school, when he got killed and how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
That rocked the whole. What is it?
Now Kennedy, around what year that? Yeah, John Kennedy.
62.
That was 62. Okay. All right.
62. I remember one in my locker room, everybody said, John Kennedy got killed. And that devastated everybody.
Wow.
All of us. It just was powerful. Remember the kid, he had an image of being a forthright person. And through the adults, I felt that image was found with them. They held him on a certain platform. In other words, and which could seep into children's mindset. In other words, he seemed to be an all right guy, you know.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this: you seem to be an all right guy. Again, you're elder, and you've been around for a while, so you've been observing things for a while.
Right.
Him compared to every president since, is there a difference, or was there any that was kind of similar, not just in demeanor, but in the true, let's say, soul of a person, how they work?
Well, the research I accumulated regarding him is that he actually.
I don't want you to go off research. I want you to go up how you felt.
How
you felt about it, and comparing that feeling and observation to those now.
Okay. It seemed like he's more honest. If not. Now, like you say, just looking back on it now, they try to do a lot of things that certain folks didn't want him to do. That's why I didn't put it like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go a little bit further. This is 1960s. Was there anything that really stuck out to you in the 1970s?
70s?
Mm-hmm. It could be about any character. Doesn't matter here. Okay. There's anything that really just stuck out and moved you in those years?
Yeah, my daughter was born.
Okay.
She's gone.
Is this the woman? Were you married?
Yeah.
It's to the woman who were to become your wife. This is the daughter.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. She had gotten pregnant, and we sat there, and then we had a child. We got married after we had a child and son.
How did you feel about that? Well, of course.
Yeah. It was scary shit out of me.
It did, huh? Okay. Okay.
Okay. Tell you what happened. She got pregnant then. I remember I got caught. I didn't know what to do. I mean, remember I was like 21.
So 70s. You was born in.
She was born December 13th.
No, you were born here.
Well, I was born December 4th, 1948.
Okay, for the yeah. So you young 20s. Yeah. Okay.
And I remember I told a partner of mine, he's an older guy. He was not. He was like Joe was 78. I mean, Lucy. Joe was like 26 to 10. He's always busy. Stop being busy. I'll go to school. Anyway, maybe also short. I'm not crying. I said, Joe, what am I doing? He said, me sincere, babe. Yeah, I'm serious. I was doing. I'm not gonna can't do what I need to do. But I don't know if everybody feels it, but I didn't know. I'm not that. Stuff. Even though, long story short, I said, okay, I'm gonna whip this thing by the teeth, and I'm gonna do this.
How long were you all married?
Oh, we were married 18 years.
Okay.
It was 18 years, but she was a year younger than I was. And I was just thinking about what I had to do now. I couldn't, kid no. Like, I gotta, this child. So what to do now? So I kidding myself, like, oh, okay, what? So making a long story short, I'm fine. And
I would agree.
So I still had to, my cortex being connected there. So I was still making child. The apartment right here, I was still a kid, a lot of wage. She was too. So but we were trying to make the thing work. Then we moved to Los Angeles.
Okay. You told me stories about LA.
Yeah, we had gotten a job. Let me regress from that. When my daughter was born, we had got a job with the Groupons, the Supplemental Health Fund. We started in the health fund. We got a job in a Groupon package. She was at her age, young and too. But anyway, we got this job from school for that. So they paid us, and he gave us a mansion and gave us these boys from the local corrections, and they would like me as younger court. So I was supposed to be the group on father.
Okay.
Yeah, all y'all run the same.
Okay.
They call me Dave.
Right.
Then we have police dogs. We show up and they give us this magic anyway. So, but the baby daughter and gives magic and literally. And so we had about 3-4 boys coming. First boy come in, he was like 3 years younger than I was. 2 years, and I came in. I came in, I said, go get the room you want room. Okay. Go get the room you want to choose. I said, well, I got to call you dad. Had to be an interesting situation. Right. Okay. So, and the one still thing, glad it's up with my daughter. So, and I come on one day, and he's my first charge, Chris. And Chris had his choice of the matching rooms. He's a nice little match. I walk up in the room, like, Chris, I'm gonna go see how you get it room. He had this girl in the bed with him, was bored a bit. I said, Chris, what you doing?
What you doing, man? Okay. Right. This ain't job.
What am I supposed to doing, man?
Right.
I tell the parole officer, you go back the other day.
Right.
Though. He said, oh, Dad. I said, man, what? I said, man, take the beer, throw the beer bottle away, and get the girl out of here. Don't ever do that again. Okay? I ain't gonna tell nobody. Don't do that again. Okay? And he'll drop his head. Okay? And I said, man, come on. I mean,
Right.
I didn't tell him. So I got another charge, and he was like 3 years younger than I was. And
Wait, pause there for me. Because okay. How about tell that story? Okay, tell that story. Okay, all right.
He was a little racist. So it would when I accepted him, you gotta call me Dad. I see his face. Okay. Say, hey man, you gotta do that, or you gotta go back tomorrow. Okay.
All right.
Didn't treat her racist. Mm-hmm. Anyway, 2 days later, he come. We sit in the living room. We had certain hours that everybody had sit in the room and just hang out. So what good or whatever. Yeah. I'm sitting there trying to be on bed, and he just come in. He came into the house, came and sat on the couch. I go Smith and smiled. She said, okay, what's going on here? So that's what where's the guy that's sitting there. Oh, so the police came to the door and said, "But you do more grants?" Yeah. I said, "We do the medicine." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I got called pro. So what he do? Oh, he just stole the son to me. I said, he did. Yep. And he gonna have to go back. And I looked at it, and he looked at me like, oh man, something you do. I said, oops. So, I'm new to this too. And he's a new kid, so I said, can you, anything you can do to give him a break? Mm-hmm. The police officer, they went that over and said, well, say what? We won't report this. So it happens again, he going straight back to jail. After that, he was all chief and guns.
No, okay.
Yeah, Dad.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. So he showed, even though you knew he may have been racist a bit,
right,
he showed respect for sure at that point.
Right. He stopped being racist to me.
Yeah, okay.
He was happy. He liked sitting back in jail. All that dude stuff he ain't working. So that's kind of power that had. But
okay, pause there. Yeah. So let's fast forward a bit, because some of this here we're gonna go into in your private session. Okay. Let's fast forward to your time in LA. So are you still talking about 1970s, or are we getting to the 80s?
I went to LA in 19. Their teacher got shot with that group on. Mm-hmm. So then my wife was go. We had been in previous to LA to visit a friend for that Christmas. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so we were on Fridges Corner. We would go loud.
LA.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, LA, more time out there. So I sent her on a baby, and so I went out there to do a place and get laid up and get this set up. A lot of things happened there.
Okay, now during that time, how did you? This is random, of course, but how did you drive? I mean, how did you get there? Was it driving, flying, train? Okay.
That was what you do. That's a story.
That's a story. It's always a story.
Yeah. I get ready to go to my best party in town. George's best party. He was 5 years old. It was. I said, hey man, I'm getting ready to go to California and send my wife, the baby, to be with be parents. So they set up. But I'm getting ready to go next week. said, okay, Dad, where are you going? I said, I'm going, I just said, I'm going Monday. And okay, 3 or 4 days away. I said, okay, I'll do a motion. So they come up. I'm playing 55. I got my little car. That's it. 1969 Toyota Corona. And we took off. And we had to go down through St. Louis, whatever, kept the road. Anyway, I said, Sam, I'm going to fill the car up, man. And you go get us some hamburgers, man, or something like that. That's the way he's on the road. And he said, okay. And then he put his hand out. I said, oh, man, I'm going to California. You got more money. He had no money. He had
When the guy's like, hey, you down for let's go? And just, yeah.
So he just showed up. So now 3 hours away, so it's like, we're taking it back, whatever. And it says, my money is okay. You got no money. You going to California, start moving back. I'm the younger. Okay. My mind said, okay, we get there, hey.
Yeah, right.
So we get there, So we rolled through, the ship there. Now, I saw some interesting thing there, and saw people live. So we stopped in Oklahoma, and going to Oklahoma, and it was some kind of business shop we stopped at. But I noticed a little Indian boy was sitting on like the porch, and a white man came out and spit right next to his feet, like he wasn't it, and spit around him like that. And I looked at the little boy, I remember, or the young teenager, whatever, and he had his vision was way off staring. Like he was there or wasn't there, like he think downtrodden. He was on this
Traumatized. So
yeah. And I noticed that, damn, and he's like, it's the Indian kid. I said, wow. And I remember that hurt. I remember I felt that in my chest. I said, wow. I said, he felt that bad, Joel. And that stayed with me. So anyway, I never seen my treated like that. And then they like traumatized. And anyway, we got to LA. And so we got to LA. Nobody was, and the guy with it, he said, make the decision. What we're going to do, we're going to stay with my relative, and then we're going to go back to jobs. I said, no, what we're going to do, I got the fence here. I'm going to drop you off your cousin, your relative's house, and I'm going to stay in my house if I come pick you up every day. I said, no, I don't want to stay together, man. No, we can't do that because, it ain't comfortable like that. Oh, okay. So LA, I don't know if you know, it's a big city like Chicago. So we pick up somebody every day and he would go driving and looking for jobs. So,
yeah. This is a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Like I'm foot the bill anyway. So make it long story short, after one or 2 days, I stopped going by. I couldn't afford to do that no more. You've been alone. Making long story short, that too is that I've been to find a job within about a couple of weeks. Cable television. Cable television. And anyway, making a long story short, again on that is the team out climbing a telephone pole. I fell off the team out to climb a telephone pole, the cable. And the guy was paying me, didn't pay attention to me. So, I caught that rooster hook instead of hitting soon food. I caught it right next to my kneecap.
Oh, so it went up in there. Okay.
And I went all backwards. Backwards off the telephone pole. But here's where the information comes in. Is as I was falling backwards, I heard a voice, clear as yours, tell me, take the hook out your leg. Very clear and distinct. Take the hook out your leg. I reached in midair, grabbed the hook bar, and pulled it out of my left knee. That left hand and took the leg off. And I fell back. When I fell back, I fell on my back. Okay, so I'm laying there. I mean, when that boy, there's a stigma even right now. Take the hook out your leg. Wasn't nobody there to do that. Now I'm on 50 feet on the top pole. So wasn't nobody on the ground saying that. Some disembodied voice. Got protection out here. Anyway, part of the story, I get to the hospital, I said, they picking me up. I said, they're trying to get my leg, if I didn't know leg, get it ready. I got some packing to do. And we get ready to go to surgery. Yeah. Surgeon, we get ready to do my leg. I looked up, I remember open my eyes and said, I said, if I done, y'all gonna be out, but I'm on the chest board. It started that, and then I was out.
Okay, pause there. So let's fast forward a bit. No, it's good. It's good. It's good stories. But there's only so much time, right? Okay. So LA, you're there. You end up eventually finding another job, and wife came.
Right.
Okay. How long did that take you?
That took me about 2 months. About 5 months. 1.5. Oh yeah. Yeah. And another story between that too.
Sure. How long did you stay in LA total? Oh, okay. So you stayed for a while. Okay. All right.
I left, came back. Yeah. About a year total.
What was because now you're talking about pretty much mid or so 70s.
Last 70 went through the get. So yeah. So if you want a traumatic period, really about period, I'll tell you when thing I remember powerful memory it's when the story of Roots came out, right?
Okay.
The story is connected with the family, right? Oh yeah. Now, at the time, I was working at the DMV there, in the not it's out on the outline, like on the outskirts of LA.
Okay.
Anyway, I remember the old white lady saying, "Oh, my daddy near the tree is raised like that." Look at that lady, okay. She just said so whimsically, and as a matter of fact, okay. But also at that time, businesses, all kinds of businesses would literally stop, put a sign on their door saying "watching Roots" or "at home watching Roots."
It was that serious.
That's you could be at the bar, you could be at the club. Getting down dancing, and when Roots came on, lights came on, the music went off. Okay, wave the music off, and Roots showed or the played on their talking sets. You'd be. I'm not talking about all kinds of businesses. Literally, big, little, small ones. They have silent doors going on the watch Roots. Would open up later. I never seen that phenomenon before or since.
Okay.
So that's how powerful. I remember that. I never. Especially you'd be in a way you'd be. I know you think I'm being I'm not making this up at all.
Oh, I don't think so.
I'm like, you could be at a top restaurant, wherever you at, you have a sign in her like your Roots.
Interesting. So that stuck out to you during that time period. Did anything else stick out to you during that time?
During that time period, it's interesting. When I first got to LA, it's interesting, yeah. I'm not, I get nothing to say it. When I first got to LA, the black people feel like they're white. The white folk that like it, right?
Feels like a switch, huh?
It was like a switch.
Okay.
And we first got to LA, the black folks acted white, and the white folks that was acting black.
How was the interactions between the groups?
Interaction was like, it was the whites had the hierarchy, and the blacks wanted to be on that same hierarchy.
Okay.
And latch it.
Okay.
So if you could, it's like have those same type of tools, homes or cars or interactions or relationships, the blacks were acted all white, and seemed to appeal to that. And
What they call so-called white anyway.
That's so called. Right. And it was deep. It was like, they had things like you meet a girl, certain, and at the age group back there, certain women, they had their own definition, like they had AA, AB, AC. What does that mean? Well, light skin and white hair, you get light skin and front hair, or AB, light skin and kicky hair, or A, that kind of thing like that. And we're like, what you guys talking about? Yeah, she's A.
Wait, pause there. Okay, so now we're talking about this. No, you're good. You're good. So now you're talking about pretty much mid to late 90s. All this period of time, 25 years.
That was 1970. I'm talking about, that was still
okay. I got you.
3. Yeah, 73, 74.
Okay. But the total time in LA was about 25 years. So that took you to about mid 90s or ish or so in that range.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we moved in 86, but I came back in 87, 89, and I stayed in 92.
92. Okay, gotcha. Okay. You was there during the Rodney King riots?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I throw that too.
Okay, give me the short version.
Okay, short version is I had a 1977 BMW.
Okay.
In other words, the seat of the car, you sit straight up in the car. Okay. And like that. And I'm in Santa Monica. Okay. So Rodney King thing, jump off. And I hear about this, this horrible bill happened to all the police and the army and all that stuff. I had never seen into today National Guardsmen set up machine gun posts with real machine guns on the corners of regular neighborhood streets. I never seen that before. The police, they were crawling 4-5 deep in the car, looking for somebody to pull over or be down. When they saw me, I was in Santa Monica, and I'm sitting straight up and getting that BMW 60. I get sit straight up, and I'm looking kind of innocuous because I just got a class, whatever. They look at me and say, "Oh, he don't hurt nobody." And I was trying to get to where I was going, get to a girlfriend up before the curfew. Because of the curfew, once the curfew started, had curfew set for a job. So, and curfew would, they meant that. So I was tired when 6, 7 o'clock. And that was powerful. I mean, and when people went off, it looked like a whole military operation. I mean, it was like it was having a run through. Because it wasn't no violence. When they were setting up these machine gun nests and setting up these like every 3 or 4 blocks you see, like we in Vietnam or something. I mean, literally the area of the city. I'm not talking about and what you saw on TV where they beating this man up, them trucks. That was another part of the city. That was in South LA. I'm talking about up in like Beverly Hills, Santa Monica area where they had this. Well, everything got burned down. I'm talking about the area where wasn't no drama like that. But it was like they have a military, like a military. Where I'm looking for maneuver. It's to see the works. Oh, at the mindset like that. Anyway, nigga, I'm talking shit. That was that.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to pull a little bit from you here. Okay. We've had a lot of private conversations over the years about leaders and, people, let's say, city for the community and not for the community, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Throughout all of your years, specifically, from all of your years looking through and watching, what do you think of just the world and its people and everything else at this time? Oh, wait, just collectively, from what you've seen back then all the way to now, what comes to your mind when I ask you that?
Phrase that question.
Okay. What do you think of the state of our so-called people, right?
Yeah.
From the time that, you really was starting to be aware and watching, okay, all the way to now, and you're just kind of observing and looking at the world around us and so forth. This is going to lead into another topic shortly. So, what this comes to your mind when I ask you that?
What I noticed and seen about
whether it's do you think things are on a positive path for people who look like us, or do you think it's the opposite? Why do you think that?
Or look like us?
They look like
okay. Like first the 60s, they showed some growth. In other words, some upward movement, up to the topicness. Like the 70s, it's like they trying to drug people out or get them not disillusioned, but get them on different paths. In other words, get they what the words I'm looking for. Yeah. Getting them to a place where they're what certain things don't mean anything. In other words,
to make them disillusioned.
Yeah, right. Yeah, get them involved.
I'd lose hope.
So people, doing things where they were losing the hope. But I saw a lot of aggressions. I saw a lot of aggressions on the people, from the crack issue to the elephant drugs. I mean, all kinds of drugs to quiet people's voice.
Do you feel that worked?
Yes, it did. I remember they not only use that, but also they use movies called Superfly.
So black exploitation films.
So that right. But also the mindset of getting their mindset, changing their mindsets. In other words, prior to that, my ex wore afro. Women wore afro.
And we're beautiful wearing afros.
Right? Yeah. Everybody had afros. You look up some old pictures of certain dance, dance thing that come on television, like that. Like the American band thing, stuff like that, the black ones. But anyway, you see it right with and stuff like that. Showing their pride in that and dressing certain catch. There was a certain kind of way with their pride. So as soon as Superfly, it's almost like the next day, all of a sudden, you got brothers got their perms, trying to look like the brother. I knew him. I met him. Talk one time. He got the face. Right here. He that was his real hair. He was like half Hispanic, but with the act, and matter of fact, those clothes, the backstory on that, he borrowed those clothes from a local pimp when they was making the movie.
Okay.
And he also borrowed the car that belonged to the local pimp when they were shooting the movie.
Okay.
He didn't have it clothes like that. Okay. Make a long story short, that movie aggrandized cocaine, pimping, and looking at women a certain kind of way, and slickness. That next week or that next day, all of a sudden, the buttons got like curls in the hair, and with bodies like Cadillacs, the cocaine, and that kind of thing. But it wasn't like that. In my town, Peoria, so like they got the laws with pimps.
Okay.
Those guys that wasn't going to school, one would do a sit, and all of a sudden, pimp culture came up, and and it did not Peoria, but other places too. So to answer your question, they use certain devices to change mindsets, to migrate the ethics and values of our people.
Okay.
Prior to that, it was like, look at me. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my body. Proud of my woman. I'm looking good. Strong. I got this animal. Like this. But she, only person got arrested for speeding that. And anyway, like that. After that, like it just kind of driven it down. And then you notice they started the crack cocaine. They brought the crack cocaine, and that further devolved.
So if it brought it even lower than where it was already, that's different.
Lower, mate. So that crack gave like, I don't know, like water to it. You know what I mean? Probably but they'll get high and then do what they do. And they women do stuff that people normally do, that men do it, that kind of things. But I noticed one thing, that after a number of years, that our people, a lot of people broke through the crack. In other words, like they went through a certain cycle, a lot of them went through a certain cycle, and they came out. They started regrouping. I think that has something like I did that. But anyway, I saw that part. So they've tried to, whoever's calling the shots there, they try to evolve our people's mindsets so that they don't reach a certain symbol, so to see themselves and to reimagine what they are and who they can be and affect like that way. They want us into a mindset where we're always the victim and we're always powerless and there's no hope of future. They try to do everything in their power to create that through the symbolism, the television, through the leaders that they put in front of us, through the media, through the drugs, through that kind of reaction. But what is happening is that there's something about the demographics of our people, or what we call our people, it just creates a certain manifestation that is kind of dispelling that. It takes a process, but it's like trying to make a junkie. Yeah, you make a junkie for a while, but the junkie is going to come out of it. Our people start to come out of that, and they getting angst about that. So now they're bringing other kind of things. They take your mindset from understanding who you are.
Okay, pause there. Pause there. Oh, okay. And it's absolutely wonderful, David. That's what. And so we may end up having to revisit a lot of this. It's going to depend upon, once I put this on YouTube, it's going to be based on what the people want to say. But the primary purpose here is that I'm triggering certain thought forms so that when we go further into our sessions later. Okay. So, but we may end up having breakaway sessions where we could get some of that history from an elder. So let me tell you this, we're about to move to the next point now. Okay. That for those who will see this on YouTube, if you are 70 and above, okay, 70 years of age or above, and you have something to say, right? This is the Metacenter. That's where we're at right now. David is actually here with me. We're located in Oak Lawn, which is right outside of Chicago. And I want to hear what you have to say. All right. I get it. Many of you have a lot to share, right? And you see David, right. So you all have a lot to share. And I know a lot of times, unfortunately, there's a disconnect between the elders and the younger generations, right? Well, I'm going to tell you, I want to hear what you have to say. And I'm sure through the conversation that we could have, not only will I learn something, but also many others who will tune in. And so that's my invitation to anyone who's listening to this, who is 70 years and above. Okay. Give us a call, 708-668-4909. And give me a call. More than likely, I'm going to pick up the phone. And from that point, we can schedule a time for you to come in and we can have that conversation. And I really look forward to it. Even though I don't know you, I care for you. And I want to have that conversation with you. And we'll see what comes out of it. Right. And so